What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live duel. Today, on the left side, we have Dinomorphia going up against Salamangreat on the right side, one of the most powerful fire decks in this format. You know, we have Snake Eyes as well as the Fire King deck, but Salamangreat is also a good budget option for you guys, other than Raging Phoenix, which is a very powerful house of a card. And then, of course, we have a trap deck on the left side. Dinomorphia going to be able to bring down the life points to quite a bit, and then again be able to control the field here. We are going to be seeing the Dinomorphia deck to start off with a copy of the Theresia. This is going to let us summon or set a trap, setting the Frenzy, which is going to be a fusion summon. You know, going for those fusions during your opponent's turn will allow you essentially to get some of those big buys on the field and starting to like control your opponent, as most trap decks do. We are going to be setting an additional card. Like, you're not going to see any big combos really from your opponent. So you're actually setting 3 cards and passing. And looks like we also have two more monster cards in the hand. So having an opening of 3 monsters is not the greatest. And they are going to be normal summoning out the Salamangreat of Fire here. This will be activating its effects, being able to search for a Fire Salamangreat to the deck, to the hand. Can be quite good. They will get locked into fires with this, so they will be not able to play some other stuff. But like when most of the deck is fire, it's pretty impactful. So we're going to be thinking in response. We're going to be activating a copy of. This is one of the ones that fusion summons from the deck, an extra deck, I believe. So we're going to send the copy of Diplo as well as the one of the I don't even know which one this is, but we're gonna go for Kentragina here. This is going to be able to copy your trap effects, which is really nice, getting that multiple fusion summons during a turn. Then we are going to see Fire Resolve, searching for a copy of the Gazelle. Then we're going to activate the Kentragina effect, banishing the Frenzy as well here to be able to fusion summon. And then we're going to go for the Theresia as well as most likely a copy of the Kentragina to go for a copy of the big Dino guy. This guy is really cool. He makes it so that your opponent cannot activate any card effects. So we already have the life points twice. Turn on 2,000, so they actually can't activate any effects that are over 2,000. Then, of course, we can go. We're going to see them go Mourner for this, and we do have an Intact, which is going to be monster negating this. So, you know, Mourner would have negated the effects of that, but we're going to be negating the effects of Mourner with the Intact. Is it going to be a counter trap? So now we paid half the life points once again here. So going to be a third time, bringing it down to 1,000. So nothing over 1,000 of our opponents can activate the effects. And then we have the effect of the Dino guy to turn everything to 1,000 essentially. And then that'll be there during the before the battle phase, so they don't die. It's like a really cool control deck. I don't know why the Salamangreat hands player is upside down. And they do have the field spell and then a Call with the Grave as well as a Spinny, which is pretty nice. But I believe Spinny has more than 1,000 attacks, so I don't think they can activate the effects here. They're going to be linking away for a copy of the Balinx. Then we do have to activate the Gazelle, summoning itself out. We activate the Spinny, so we are able to activate the effects here. And then we're going to be seeing the copy of Gazelle trigger as well. Or Gazelle can't activate because it's... So you can't activate any monster effects on the field, okay. We are going to be summoning out with the Spinny there from the graveyard. I mean, I guess we just have to kind of go for like a big push. I'm not too sure how Salad plans to deal with this. I feel like Dinomorphia is like only good going first though. So like, you know, essentially half the time you're not going to do as good because of the fact that you can't go first. But they're going to go for a Mirage Stalio, and they're going to be activating a Flame Ferret thingy. to try to destroy the Mirage Stalio. Or bounce back the Mirage Stalio, okay. So they are going to be essentially now on like nothing. They don't really care about the cards they have left. We do have a Call by the Grave, but that's not going to do very much. And a Circle, I guess. We have Circle, Call by the Grave, and then the Field Spell. So we're going to go Circle. Circle, maybe search for a copy of the Mirror here, which is actually going to be able to summon itself out. Essentially a copy of Poplar. When it's added to the hand, it can summon itself out. Then we're going to go for the copy of the Sunlight Wolf. Then we're going to relink with the Sunlight Wolf. And we're just going to pass one card and end our turn there. Will we see Dinomorphia going to be having enough to end up taking it is the question. They are on no cards though. Like the last card in the hand is going to be, or last card on the field is going to be a Call by the Grave. So you will be able to play through this, but we're going to be going a normal summon of the Theresia once again, which can then set. They do have a copy in the graveyard, so we can flip up the Call by the Grave to essentially negate the effect there, which is going to be fine. You know, we're going to be essentially turning it off, but we have still those bodies on the field. And now our opponent is on 0 cards. They have the copy of Spinning in the graveyard as well. And I guess you could also count the Fire in the grave too, can be quite important. And we're actually going to read the Salamangreat Field Spell because it will kind of affect the difference there for us. But I can't believe we ended up drawing into 3 monsters. They're going to go Battle Phase. They're going to pay half their life points here to make the attack 0, I believe. I think it's the attack equal to the life points. They are down to 250. I'm not really doing the math right now. I'll be doing the math during when I edit afterwards. But we are going to be thinking on this. I think the Salamangreat player is going to scoop it up. They're going to protect with the Balinks. And then we're going to be redeclaring the attack with the Kentragina, which is going to be able to make us gain life points with the Salamangreat Field Spell. And then we're just going to be attacking with the Theresias there. And did we draw into another monster? No, we drew into a trap, okay. I think. Yeah, we drew into a domain. So we're going to set 1 and do maybe go for a Lagia or a Dolka here. They are dinos. They're level 4, so we could potentially see that. I'm going to see them go for a Lagia. And then just passing turn on this. And they scoop it up here, realizing the top deck is Roar. They definitely was not going to be doing anything to that. Yeah, that's not a good top deck. I don't know what one top deck could be. Maybe either Fire or a copy of Gazelle could definitely potentially have done it for them. I don't really know what Domain would summon. Not much that we really can summon there that would benefit us very much. But we do see Dinomorphia taking the game 1, but they're going to be having a challenge, in game 2 as well as game 3 potentially. Here, having to essentially play around. Like we have copies of Cosmic or Lightning Storm, can be quite destructive to it. But beneficially they could just chain their cards. We do see them having negates, but I don't know what they do going second. I don't know what the strategy is going to be. With a lot of those trap decks, it's not going to be the greatest. And we are in a very fast-paced game right now, especially with the Fire decks running around. Like Princess going to be an insane card to be able to pop your cards on the field. And the card that you summon. So it's like, okay, well, I guess your Fire cards or your monsters are going to get popped. Your back row is safe, but we have ways to destroy the back row. Especially, I believe, Rage. Rage just destroys cards on the field. So if we do set up like a Rage, no matter what, you have to set like 5 back row and then they'll blow up 4 of them. So it's just like, well, that's going to be unfortunate. And I actually don't think that Princess has to destroy the... I actually have to read it. I know Princess doesn't destroy the monster that's summoned. It could just say summon target one card. I'm just going to take a second to read it here. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, card in your graveyard, you can target one fire monster and one monster your opponent controls. So yes, you have to do control, target one monster and not one card. If there was one card, that would be absolutely disgusting. But it is not, unfortunately. What is cool, people do forget about that all the time, that they don't have to destroy the summoned monster that's targeted. So like if they summon out a Guardian Chimera that cannot be targeted, you can target another card on the field and destroy it, which is really cool. People don't realize that at all. But we see them shuffle up. The Salamangreat player is definitely going to be choosing to go first here. You see a Circle, an Imperm, as well as a copy of Mourner. Mourner can be quite impactful in this matchup. Going to be able to negate one of those fusion summon monsters that get hit on the field. We're going to search for a fire. We're going to normal summon fire, activating the effect. That's going to search us for a copy of Gazelle here. Then we can get the link away for that copy of the Balinx. Balinx can then search us for the field spell as well as chain the Gazelle. And then we can also dump with the Gazelle as well if we want to. Dumping most likely a copy of the Spinny. It's 2019 all over again. Then we're going to see Spinny coming back here. And we do get to overlay for a copy of the Mirage Stalio. Mirage Stalio will be able to activate its effects attaching to summon. We could see the nib in the opponent's hand being dropped, but unfortunately not going to drop it here. I don't think they've played against Salad for a long time, as we see them picking up some of those newer cards. We see them picking up a copy of the Weasel, which is going to be an extender, as well as summon out to our opponent's side of the field. So definitely not accustomed to those cards. You know, having read both of the new cards that we saw, Fire, as well as the copy of the Weasel. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the new Salad support. Like, do you guys think that it is pretty decent with the Fire, Raging Phoenix, as well as the Weasel? I think it's really good support, to be honest. I think that it's exactly what the deck needed, and quite good. Like, we see Raging Phoenix being played in almost every single Fire deck. Therefore, the card has to be pretty decent, to be honest. And they're still getting another card, which is going to be like a code, essentially a decode that can, or a heat soul, I guess, a baby heat soul that can link summon during your opponent's turn, which is very, very nice. Going to be able to essentially go for a pop 4 or blow up your whole opponent's field with like a Raigeki-like effect. But they are going to go into the Raging Phoenix, and then we see them summon out the Fire during our opponent's side of the field. And then we activate the effect of Sanctuary, and they are going to be chaining the nib onto this, but we have the cross set, which I think they drew off the Weasel here, which is very unfortunate for us. We do call nib, which we now can relink into the copy of the Raging, which can then activate the effect to set a card from the deck, or I guess we add a trap. We're going to add the copy of Rage. Rage is the one that pops the cards, so, you know, having a big struggle against those back row that we end up seeing. But they will have a little bit of a push to have to make through in Nibiru. It's going to be always, you know, paying attention to what we have in the hand there. We see also a copy of the Solemn Strike and a copy of Duality as well, Pot of Duality there. So we set 3 cards and pass. One of them being Imperm, the other one being Roar, and potentially even a Rage. I don't know what the last card is. We also have the Mourner in the hand as well to be able to stop those like floodgate monsters. And we see 2 monsters in the hand. Once again, we see a copy of Theresia as well as the Diplo, a fencing Fire Ferret thing, and then of course the Duality. And so we're going to see Theresia getting hit with the copy of the Veiler. We're going to activate Pot of Duality. We see Imperm, Diplos, and the Ferret Flames once again. And they just scoop it up, realizing the game is going to be lost. You know, Imperm is not going to save them there. They already have a copy of the fencing Fire Ferret. Therefore, it's going to be just goodbye, adios. And it looks like we see Imperm and Ash, or Valor Ash, I should say, in the side deck of the Dinomorphia deck. I wonder if they chose to side it out due to the fact that there's a little bit too much going on. You know, there's not exactly one good spot to hit with a Valor or an Ash. Obviously, you know, it is good to hit like a Fire, or I guess the Ash with Ash. Even like debatably, you could hit the Balinks with a copy if you have like multiple hand traps. Hitting the Balinks isn't horrible. Obviously, hitting Fire Princess as well is very good with a copy of Valor. So it's like, you know, depending on what you have, obviously in your hand, there is like some choke points. If they don't have the copy of the Sanctuary on the field, they can't relink, which they mean they can't set, but they still have the copy of Raging, and then Raging even plus a Princess is just absolutely insane. And of course, like if you just end up Valoring the copy of Princess, they have to have another extender, which they tend to normally have anyways to play through it. But if paired with another hand trap, sometimes it can be very detrimental. But we saw the other day, I ended up triple hand trapping this exact Salamangreat player, the same deck they're playing currently, and they were able to play through it, still ending on a board of the double Raging Phoenix with Princess Engrave, which is quite nice. But unfortunately, Fire King is just very powerful and was able to play through that anyways. But we're going to be diving on into Game 3 with the Dinomorphia deck going first. We're going to see a normal summon of Theresia once again. I think they have multiple monster cards in the hand as well. Diplos and a gold rare card. I'm not exactly sure which card that is. But we are going to be seeing the Theresia end up setting the copy of the Frenzy, I believe, once again. It could be a Droll in the hand. Then we see set 2 additional cards and pass turn on this. We see the Mourner being drawn as the 6th card. And we have the Harpy's Feather Duster in the hand as well, which is going to be met with a Judgment for sure. As well as a Droll on our opponents. We have Mourner, Droll, Duster here. We're going to activate a Frenzy, which can let us send, or just, you know, fusion summon using the Diplo as well as the Pterodactyl to go for a Ketchagina. You know, paying half our life points. We love that. Then we're going to activate the effect, Banish, to be able to fusion summon once again. Sending the Theresia as well as the copy of the Ketchagina to go for the big boy Rexstrom. And they have the Mourner for this once again. Do we maybe Judgment this? We are gonna. We're gonna let it slide. And they have the Duster here. Do we let this get destroyed? They have the spell negate, so they're going to activate that, you know, spell negating it, they have paying half their life points. Could we potentially see a Judgment on the normal summon? When we chain the Call of the Grave on the top copy of the Theresia here. I wonder why we're doing it like this. And we Judgment that as well. What is going on? Oh, this is going to be the Reborn. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was a spell negate, but it's just the Reborn one. Okay, then we're going to activate both the effects. They were both summoned onto the field. Definitely makes sense to Judgment that. And so if Rectrum leaves the field, though, we get hit like... Doesn't Mourner just kill us there? Actually, I have to read Mourner. It's been so long. So we're going to see them set 2 more traps. They cannot be activated this turn, of course. But I'm just going to check. Here they're reading Ketchagina. Mourner. Yeah, face up if it leaves the control takes equal to the original attack. And I believe that The Rexstrom does have 3,000 attack. Okay. So you're going to be in quite a problem. We normal summon out the Droll and Lockbird. What is going on here? And then we go for a Typhon. This can just be killer here. We can just go battle phase and attack into the Rexstrom. I don't think Ketchagina protects us. Do any of the traps do? Let me see here. Let's see. Does the alert? While your life points are 2,000 unless you take no effect damage. Frenzy is banished. Intact? Does intact less protect? Let's see here. Intact. I'm not exactly sure. Trying to find it here. If you take battle damage, so we're going to be protecting that there with the... that's good for us, being able to protect that battle damage is quite important. When we bounce it, they should take damage, though. Then we're going to see the Diplo end up dumping here. Once again, the copy of the Intact. Trying to protect us from that battle damage. And then we're going to be turning our monsters into attack position here. I'm not sure exactly what we're trying to cook. We did have the Call with the Grave twice, which is pretty cool. We're going to go battle attack with the Ketchagina. Make them take, I believe it's like 200. Or 22 or 23, I should say. I'm not even exactly sure. I will calculate it, though, afterwards. And then we're going to be going attack with all the little guys, which is quite a bit of damage. Just having like 1,000 attack. Dealing essentially just 35, I believe. So having their life points halved themselves. And then we get to go for the copy of Legia. And just passing turn on this. And they drew into another Mourner as well, which is going to be not the greatest for them. So it looks like Dinomorphia is going to be able to take this. Chances are they are not playing multiple copies of that Typhon in their extra deck. The extra deck is quite tight for the Salamangreat deck. So we could just see the Dinomorphia deck taking the win here. We also have a Legia, which is quite good. They're going to activate Crossout, calling a copy of Nibiru. Maybe hoping them would hit with the Legia. But we're going to activate Silent Mining, sending the copy of the Mourner, and we hit them with a copy of Shell of Brute, maybe? I'm not exactly sure, but they did the scoop to that, so most likely going to be like a card that ends up negating it. It was Sonic, okay, Sonic there that negates the effect, and then they just lose here to that. So they're down the 0 cards, and they know that you're going to be able to just attack over it for a game the next turn. So we see Dinomorphia end up taking the win here against Salamangreat. Having those floodgates in the copy of Rexstrom, and then also having the control with those counter traps being quite nice here. Not going at the time as well. That is very hard with this deck. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.